Righto, so I keep getting asked plenty of questions about, you know, the car itself and what I've done. I've never really done a detailed walkthrough of what we've done, so done plenty. I'm going to try and cover it all off as quick as I can, so please bear with me. I'm not smart enough to know how to put chapters and skip points and all sort of stuff in, so you're just going to have to bear with me and watch through, and I'll try and keep it as interesting as possible. So we'll start up at the front end. We'll start, first of all, it's 2015 PX2 Ford Ranger. It's the very last of the pre-DPF models, so that's a good thing. Engine wise, we haven't done a lot. We've done, obviously got the secondary fuel filter, we got the catch can, we got upgraded front mount intercooler, which is a Legendex big boy. We've had an engine remap by Performance 4x4 at Capella Bar up here in Brisbane. I can't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head, but we got a 30% power increase and a 40% torque increase, so I believe it's pushing out just under 500 Newton meters, I believe, and I can't remember the horsepower figures, but it goes well. Outside of that, just upgraded the battery, so it's got a Century dual force battery, I believe it is. Just running the Safari snorkel into the standard airbox. Outside of that, I believe that's pretty much the engine taken care of. Yeah, we'll chase some more down the track. Maybe we'll do a turbo upgrade, some bigger injectors and so forth, but we'll see how we go. Coming out of the engine bay onto the front here, you'll see a TJM chaser bar. We've done a few mods to it just recently to fit the new Runva twin motor high mount winch. So again, don't know a great deal about it. They class it as their competition style winch. By no stretch of imagination would you go and put this winch on a comp truck. It's not that quick, but it is much quicker than your traditional low mount. Twin 7.2 horsepower motors, 40 meters of rope. That's about all I can tell you. Look the specs up for, you know, if you're interested on that. Again, so far I haven't pulled anything with it. I never really even used the last low mount all that much, once or twice maybe. However, I do notice this is quick. Spooling in, spooling out seems to be much quicker, so that's good. Again, don't get me wrong, it's not a red winch, it's not a giggle pin. You know, you want to go spend 5-10 grand on a winch, on a comp spec winch, then by all means go and do so. I've picked this up brand new at a really good price, just through Marketplace. We will put some air free spool on this, and we will in cab wire it, but that's not done at the moment, so that's the next sort of couple of mods coming up. Next thing we got here is I was running 4 of the light 4 strikers through here, which I liked. It filled in the gap on the loop here on the bar really well. Obviously had to take 2 lights out to allow for the second motor here in the winch. We've also had to do a bit of a cutout on the grill to get that in, so I'll do a bit of a close-up shot of that so you can see that. So we're just running 2 of the light 4 strikers at the moment, just to keep that filled in. We've got the Oricom 6.1 dB. This is also a 2-piece, so you can split it in the middle here and just run it as a 2.1 dB aerial if you like. It is matched to an Oricom head unit in there, which I'll take you through and show you the UHF shortly. Also just got the base mount here for a sand flag. Haven't really used it, put it on there because we were going to do the Simpson last year, and then COVID struck at the last minute, so we had to cancel that trip. So got the Bush Ranger sand flag that goes on there. At the moment we're just running the Factor 55 flat link shackle winch hook on there. Again, all the winch cradles all been upgraded by Jonathan at One Wild Fab. He's doing a lot of work for me at the moment. It's done a few of the other things that we'll talk to in a second when we get there. That's pretty much it on the front. We'll talk about the front suspension right now. So we have SAS converted it. So I'm not across all the technical detail, but I'll let you know what I know. And then if you want more questions, reach out to me. I'll put you in contact with Jonathan, who did all the work again at One Wild Fab. And he'll give you all the details, because it's the messages and Instagram and Facebook and all that's just been going hot off the press. Heaps of questions. Everyone wants to know how much and so on and so on. The price really determines with you and your budget what you want. Yeah, I'd say there's a range of around about 15, 20k, probably bottom line 20, and you could go up to 30, 35, depending on what you want to fit it out with. So what do we got here? We've got a custom diff housing. We're running GU centers with 4-1 diff gears, ARB locker, GU CVs, all custom steering arm, custom panhard, custom drag link. We are running the Fox Race Series 2.5 coilovers. I believe they're the 10.5 inch for this. Obviously all custom radius arms, custom drop boxes, also running custom 5mm wall drive shaft on the front and the rear for that matter. It's all running all the standard Ranger transfer case and gearbox, all that's still standard. Freewheeling hubs, so we're running a Hulk freewheeling hubs there, and obviously anything else that I've missed is pretty much all custom fabricated by Jonathan. He's done a magic job. Steering, I guess, is another thing. So we were going to put the Patrol power steering in, but had complications there. Wasn't talking back to the ECU and so forth. So I believe we're stuck with twin electric steering there. I'm not really across that. So again, maybe if you want to know more about the steering, drop that out in the comments. Reach out to us and we'll get the details back to you. But honestly, this thing, I love it. I reckon it's driving better than it did come out of the factory for sure. Lift wise, I estimate it's around about 6-inch lift in the front. For those who know the measurements on the Rangers, I think they come out standard at about 570 from center of hub to the bottom of your wheel arch. I believe it's 570. This now measures 720. So you can do the measurements there on yourself. So I believe 720. I didn't measure it myself, but the guys at engineering, when we did a swerve test, they measured it. They told me it was 720. So close enough to a 6-inch lift in the front. Moving around. So talking about wheels and tyres. So we're running a set of the Dirty Life Roadkill beadlocks, alloy obviously. They're 17 by 9. They are a -13 or -14 offset. Sorry, I can't remember the exact. I believe maybe -14 offset. Great rims, happy with them. We're running obviously a set of 35 12.5 17s of the Nitto Trail Grapplers, and they're going pretty well. Yeah, haven't had any troubles with them. I like them in my second set of Nindos. So the first set were pretty good. They were in a 295 70 17, so I've stepped up to the 35s, and yeah, really happy with them. Muddies are muddy as far as road noise and all those sorts of things going, but yeah, I've not had any issues with these at this stage. So around the side here, these are one of the first things I put on the car when I got it actually. Rock sliders, I've always been pedantic about that ever since I had my comp truck. Good set of rock sliders. These were made, these are probably about 5 years old now. Dominator 4x4, again up here in Brisbane. I think they're at Underwood. They might have changed shops, but I think they're at Underwood now. Dominator 4x4. Again, these are they're extremes, so they're not light, but they are very, very strong. 5mm tube or 5.5mm tube. They've got the skid plate underneath, so they're a true rock slider. Also got 2 high lift jack points at the front and at the rear. Yeah, can't say much else about them, but they're a rock slider, a proper rock slider, and they work. So just moving up here, so we've got the Pioneer platform rack. Yeah, if I'd known all the stuff about roof racks that I know now back then when I bought this, yes, I probably would have bought a different brand. Again, if you're not too sure what I'm talking about there, go and look up, you know, a couple of Ronnie Dale's videos or Tyler Thompson's. There's plenty of material out there around roof ratings, roof rack ratings, so forth and so forth. I tend to now change the way and what I store up here, pretty much light stuff. I've just got the inflatable SUP up here for the week we're away, but typically it just holds a couple of fishing rods when we're going away. The Tread Pros always sit up there. They're permanently mounted there. They stay on there, and outside of that, there's just some hoops for tying stuff down when I want to tie some light stuff down. We got a set of the steady sight lights here that are just constantly wired up, so you can see that there, just for pulling up a camp or out wheeling at night. It just adds some nice side light there. So yeah, really happy with those. Got one of those on each side, obviously. Okay, so again, the big behemoth here. So again, there's plenty of other videos. I won't go through too much detail, but if you want a breakdown of pricing and exactly what I've got here, it's just a MITS alloy tray and canopy, 1.6 meter long by 1850 wide, I believe. Again, it's got their roof rack that comes with it, and then we've mounted a Bundu Top Bundu Tech rooftop tent electric. So again, if you want to see more detail around the rooftop tent, then go back, check out some of my other videos. It'll take you through detail there, but full electric up and down. Nothing too much else here. Just obviously just run my recovery gear in the side toolbox here. So it's just quick and easy to get to. If it's dirty, it's out of the canopy and that sort of stuff. Again, I won't go through too much detail in here, but one thing new, I took out the Clearview Easy Slide and also the ARB Elements fridge. Together, they weighed about 75 kilos. Full, probably out another 50 kilos, so a lot of weight. I'm just trying to cut a little bit of weight back out of this thing. So new addition here is just a Evercool 40 litre drawer fridge. This is the first trip out with it, first time. I've only just put it in a week ago, wired it up there. At this stage, I'm absolutely loving it. Just the absolute pro was obviously the weight saving. So, you know, I've saved over 50 kilos here, easy, 50, maybe 60 kilos. I've saved from what I had set up here to what I've got now. I've gained some storage on top of this thing now, so I've gained storage on there, and again, I can still access my drinks when I store on there, so I don't need to move anything to get drinks out or any of that. The missus loved it. She just told me an hour ago she's loving this. So much easier rather than getting the Clearview out, dropping down, getting a drink out, putting it back in. So absolute winner, guys. No, that was like bloody cost about, I paid $1,050 for it. This is a new Australian made version, just been released about a month ago. But yeah, price wise, I mean, I spent almost, I think it was just under $3,000, so $2,800 by the time I bought the Clearview ES220 and the Elements fridge. It was about $2,800. I sold it, pretty much sold it for less than half price. It was under 12 months old, but anyway, this thing here, $1,200. So just do yourselves a favor, go this as your if you're looking for a second fridge. Highly recommend this. We've got the upright on the other side. I'm not going to go through anything else in the setup here. Check out the videos if you want to see, again, the 12-volt electrical setup. Got all the EnerDrive gear in here. It's got massive 370 watt house roof solar panel up on top there. So the latest thing I've put on here was another mod, was the shower suite or the Ensuite. We used to run that here, and basically I used to lose the use of the the back door, which is really annoying. So picked up this bracket here, which come from Core 4x4, Core Off-Road. Forgive me if I've got it wrong there, but Core 4x4. That's just a swing out bracket. It closes up, it locks around here. I'll drop some footage in. Not a cheap bracket, but it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So again, so it clears, puts it out 90 degrees there. You saw the door opens up, so it's perfectly clear there, runs in line, no issues, opens up full. So yeah, so that bracket, again, not cheap, but again, they had to go and do the development and that sort of stuff. So I'm happy to support, you know, Australian businesses and that sort of stuff, particularly those that are making niche products to serve a purpose. I got no issues paying the money for it. So I think it was around about 450 bucks. It might have cost me 500 bucks landed. I believe they're manufactured over in WA, so freight across to Queensland was a little bit as well. But I think roughly speaking, it was around 500 bucks. But good quality gear. It's pretty light but strong, and I'll drop some footage in of that when it's closed up and opening it up. But really simple. Righto, so we've covered tyres and wheels. Let's talk about a few things under the back here. So we've just recently fitted a secondary battery purely for winching, which is run off a separate DC to DC charger, a 1000 cold cranking amp battery. What we've also got here is we've got 2 Anderson plugs, where again I can just take some power out there if I ever want to run something off that secondary battery there. I can just plug straight in. And I've also just asked them to put a solar input into that Red Arc 1240D DC to DC charger there, which just allows me, again, if I ever want to run something off that battery, I can again top it up just with some solar and plug it in there. Nice, neat and tidy up under there. So rear suspension, this is where the next mod next major mod will probably come later in the year, and we'll change this. But for now, what are we running? We're running a set of EFS 500 constant springs. With that, we've got a set of the Airbag Man airbags. Along with that, we're running a set of Fox 2.0 remote resi shocks in there. And we've also got a set of the 2-inch extended shackles from PSR, I think they are. So realistically, we're running about a 4-inch lift in the back. So running the 2-inch shackles, 500 constants, and airbags to sort of equal it all out. I am running pretty heavy, so yeah, so it does with the 6-inch in the front and about 4 at the back. It is still sitting a little bit nose high for my liking, but again, Jonathan's got some plans. We're going to do something pretty cool out the back end here, something that allows us still to carry the weight, but when I take the canopy off, it's going to give us a lot more flex and a lot more comfort than what we're currently running with such stiff leaf springs. Aside of that, we'll talk about the rear suspension, I guess the rear drive line that we had to change when we did the SAS. So again, it was custom diff housing to match the front. We're running a GU diff center, again 4-1 diff gears. ARB locker in the rear as well, so the factory lock is gone. ARB locker in the GU diff house, in the GU diff. Now we were going to be running the GU axles, however we stuck with the Ranger axles, and believe it or not, to our surprise, the Ranger axles were actually bigger than the GU axles, so I was happy with that. So again, I'm not across the detail. Jonathan had to do a bit of changing there to get the Ranger axles to fit the GU diff center with the splines, whatever it may be. But that's what we've got there: GU center, 4-1 diff gears, ARB locker with the Ranger axles in a custom diff housing. We've also running now disc brakes on the rear, so I believe they're GU discs and rotors. On the back, we're running a hydraulic handbrake now. and that's basically it. Obviously the chassis been gusseted in the rear and then also at the front for the towers and that sort of stuff, so there's a lot of extra bracing and gusseting that's gone on the chassis here as well. Okay, so I think that's it around this side. Okay, so just around this side, nothing much else different. Again, another steady light on the side there, passenger side for that. Rock sliders wheels covered off. We're running a Dachi 270 degree awning here at the moment, so I've got all the full wall kit that goes with that as well. The Tread Pros, 4 Tread Pros up there, side by side mounted. Moving across, we've got the headboard water tank here. It's about 40 litres, gravity fed into a tap here. Again, won't go into too much detail around the canopy or power setup, but as you can see there, it's got the 200 amp hour BTEC Enerdrive lithium battery. It's got a switch there that runs everything. It's got the E-Pro, all the fuses. We've got an AC, DC charger for if I'm ever at a park or at home. If I ever need to charge up, I can just plug in. I've also got the DC to DC, the 50 amp charger there as well. 2000 watt inverter. The Bushman 80 litre upright. Absolutely love that thing. Something that's new, so we have upgraded the oven here. So this is now the Road Chef, but it's a big bertha. And look, I'll probably do a bit of a separate review on that. This is the first time using it. We've used it about 3 or 4 times already, but absolute game changer. You'll see, look, the other travel buddies and the Road Chefs and the kick-ass ovens, the normal ones, normal size ones, they run fine for warming up food, that sort of stuff. They do the job. If you're trying to generally cook something, make something crispy and that sort of stuff, and you've got the power to burn, you've got to have the power to burn, this is the way to go. It's got a top element and a bottom element, so you can run one or either or both. And I'll tell you now, it just sucks the power. So I think a normal oven would run at about 10 amps per hour. This runs obviously double that because it's got the 2 elements, so it runs at about 20 amps an hour, but just next level. So game changer if you want to cook in this and use it for more than just heating up stuff, and even heating up for poorly. What I'd say is this will heat up, even though it uses more power, it heats it up quicker. So the amp hours you're using in a normal size Travel Buddy or Road Chef oven, probably we would have put pies and sausage rolls in there for best part of maybe an hour and a quarter, hour and a half, 45 minutes in this, make close, and they're done, and they're done better. So the amount of amps used, I'd say, is not as big a difference as what people might think when you hear that. Even though it uses double the amount of power, your cooking time significantly reduced. So take that in consideration as well. Love that. Just upgraded here to the twin induction cooktop. So it is the Westinghouse. So you've got a 1400 watt element on this side, and you've got 1000 watt on that side. So again, just wanted to have a little bit more flexibility. When you're out, if you're preparing a meal and you need to use the induction cooktop, it might be raining, wet, blowing its ass out, windy, so you can't get out, you can't use a fire for cooking, because we cook on the fire. Don't get me wrong, we don't use induction for everything. We cook on the fire. We got gas cooktop here as well, but again, I just love having options and can't go past this thing here. Again, I believe it was around about 170 bucks thereabouts, 180 bucks. What we will do is we will mount it permanently into this drawer here, but haven't done that yet. Outside of that, in the toolbox here, we've got the twin ARB compressor, the hose there. We've got the switch for the water pump here, compressor switch, which is permanently powered up there. We've got 2 ARB air hoses there, a myriad of deflators, and obviously the winch ring and that sort of stuff for the synthetic rope. I think that's about it around this side. So if we head around the back, again, just, oh, sorry, another new purchase here from the latest Brisbane 4x4 show was one of the Eco X gear speakers. This is the big Bertha model. Absolutely love it. Again, we'll do a bit of a review on it, but it's permanently wired and mounted there. So serious tunes. Again, we don't always have it going, but from time to time you just want to have some music going. Sometimes you want to be in party mood. You got the tunes there, good to go. So we're not out in the bush being a menace to fellow campers or anything like that, so don't think that for a second. Probably a bit more of a novelty factor more than anything, but it's there. What's not a novelty factor is what we've got around here on the back, and again I won't go into too much detail, but we got just a Dun & Watson box on the back here with the Julka hot tap. So you'll see here we've just got, comes out of the tap, so we do have a 70 litre underbody tank there as well, which is pumped, has an electric pump driving that out of this rear tap. So yeah, cold water in, hot water out, works great. Nice, quick, easy, simple setup. Yeah, so just roll the hoses up, hang that off there. We just got a few other bits and pieces there around sanitizer and that. What we've also got with the Julka, you've got a separate pump in that, and you get the sand spear, so if you ever wanted to pump straight out of a creek or out of another water course, you can just pull water in there with that as well. So that's handy. So like I said, hot water's just there, good to go. Just got the gas bottle permanently mounted there, just 4 kilo. Again, just runs the hot water, quick fit connections, really quick, just bolt that on, done. That runs my hot water there, and then just my gas through to my Coleman Hyperflame cooker. A bit dirty, just cooked breakfast on that this morning. Trundle drawer, obviously, another 20 litres of I guess water there. I could always put diesel in it if I wanted to put diesel in it. Sorry, that's one thing I didn't cover off, is I have got the Brown & Davis 150 litre long range tank. So replaced the factory tank pretty early on. Again, full size 35 on another beadlock rim there. The Roadkill Dirty Life rim, so matching set. Just run the crash pad here, rubbish bag, bin bag, whatever you want to put in it. The trundle drawer, less spares than what I used to have, so no spare CVs anymore or anything like that, so that's great. And then look, again, like I said, just the Ensuite here, so you can see that. What I have done, I'll take you in here and show you, but what I have done is I've just mounted some permanent lighting in here. So just flick the switch on now, and we've got 2 different types of lighting in there. So really good place. Just again, if you're not running a chemical toilet these days, don't know what's wrong with you, but just for convenience, getting off grid, those types of things, just got to grab a bloody chemical toilet, do yourself a favour, keeps your missus happy, and then like I said, some hot water and a shower. Anyway, have a look in here. So there you go. Just got the Thetford 360 whatever toilet that is, and yeah, what we've got here. So what we've got here is I've just got a couple of the old strip lights that I had laying around, just permanently mounted those in here, just with some Sikaflex. Obviously the hose just clips on here to the shower head and good to go. I might show you that later running. And then what we've got here is all on dimmable, so we've got the white light, that's the AC charger port there. So again, if I'm at a caravan park or at home, I can just run a lead there without having to have the canopy doors up. I can charge it up or anything like that, but haven't really needed to do that. But yeah, well guys, I hope that covers it all. We'll try and get hold of Jonathan. We'll get to try and do a proper rundown on the SAS conversion, but he's busy as well. So look, it's probably best if you just put your questions in the comments below. Reach out on the socials at Jeff and Tash Adventures, either on Instagram, Facebook, or drop a comment down under this YouTube video. All right, that's it. Thanks again. Cheers, everyone. Go find my beer. Bye.